Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah. So, anyways, I got so mad. I was going to lunch and then I saw the Trump come on talk about that airplane and what the horrible thing I was watching. Everybody was horrified. He comes on and starts talking about DEI. And I was like, you motherfucker, shut up. So I called Congressman Barr's office. I'm like, you need to get every Democrat right now outside on a press conference and just, fight back because, you know, he got in before he got in, he fired like the head or the FA guy like left because Elon Musk was harassing him or something. But there was all this kind of whatever. Who knows what happened? No one talks about, no one knows what happened yet, you know?
Yeah, yeah. So I think to your point,
Yeah.
and I would love to see this, and I haven't watched TV today because I've been busy
Thank
today,
God, right.
but I surely do hope that they went out to the podium, and they should do that every day. Every
Everybody.
day, the American people need to see them fighting back and talking back and pushing back. And quite frankly, they need to talk to people who are professionals at how you do this, since this is new landscape for everybody, and figure out how to do it the right way. Well, not even the right way, but feel like it's fighting,
Yeah.
brawling, as we would say.
Because we're not dealing with anybody that's normal. Like I thought any other president would come out and just act like, first of all, acknowledge the tragedy. Acknowledge, first of all, you don't have all the facts. And the point out the DEI, not, and I'm like, DEI what? What are you talking about, first of all? And actually that he started talking about the requirements that they have on the website for hiring or what their goals are, the mission. And that was under Trump. He had those same, there was nothing different on their website or their mission when he was president, and under Biden was the same. The only thing that changed was when they got in there, they upset the government. They haven't been really probably hiring enough. It's a stressful job. But even what we don't know, we don't know what happened with the helicopter went up, the Black Hawk, what happened. And there's people that have lost their life. What is it? It's like 69 people. A
Yeah.
lot of these people are young people, figure skaters, people from Virginia. It's tragic. And this guy, this is what we have to endure. So I'm like, I can't, I'm done. And I want to see somebody that can come out every time he says something wrong and just kind of punches him like, that's
I agree. I absolutely agree. I think this is where the education comes in. We talk about propaganda and how do you fight it. And the
right.
first thing that you do to fight it is educate people about what they're hearing.
Yeah.
And what we have to say is, hey, when the next emergency or the next disaster happens, the very first thing you're going to hear the president say is that it's about DEI. And why
Yeah.
does he say that? He says that because he wants you to be focused on race and not
Yes.
him and the issue and how he's handling the issue. So you listen for that the next time
Yes.
he says something, because you should know that this is what he's trying to do, or
Yeah.
however they say that. But the point is, we cannot let this stuff lie. We have got to
Yeah.
fight him at every tooth and nail. That's what brawlers do. This is a fight.
Brawlers. We're brawlers and we fight with our bra on. That's what I'm just going to tell you. Brawlers fight with the bra. So I'm also thinking that these folks love acronyms and CRT was easy for people. It's like three
Yeah.
things they can remember. CRT, DEI. Well, I know Pete Hegseth has a DUI hire. He's a DUI, driving under the influence. And he was hired, and I don't know what kind of standards, merit standards they have for these people. I saw Cash Patel. I don't know if you caught Cash Patel was on to, was also had his hearing today. And what I do love, Michael Bennett, Colorado's
Mm-hmm.
stepping that fire up. Jasmine Crockett, representative on fire. Amy Klobuchar seems to have woken up a little bit. Good for her. I'm just sort of like, I want to see like you the fight. And so tomorrow, well, for the Friday Power Lunch, January 31st, I know that you're super excited. We have
Yeah.
our two guests going to be on. We have Steve Phillips, founder of Democracy in Color, author of two books. We'll talk about those. And also he has this podcast. And Kirsten Miller is somebody that we actually interviewed last week. She'll be on. She's another author and also has like over 15 books she's written. And what I love about the fiction she writes, it's like, really, I want to get in that book and be a superhero. Some of her heroes in there, and you just want to fight. She really creates this world of great characters, really weaving kind of storytelling about how we do fight, satire, humor, and it really kind of sets that up. But she also has a new Substack, Watch Your Back, And she has written a really good article that we'll be talking about tomorrow about the smoke screen. Just like you said, they're throwing up.
Yeah.
Look behind the smoke screen, the DEI, the red meat about throwing trans under the bus. Look away from the steel. So let's talk about what you're excited with, Steve Phillips.
Yeah, I'm excited about Steve Phillips because if anyone had
Ew.
an opportunity to listen to Miss Margaret last week, you will
Very
know that
popular clip,
that's
thousand
right.
plays.
She throws the elephant right in the room in everybody's faces to say, hey people, back up and wait a minute. Because at the end of the day, this is about race. And we cannot back away from that. And what we have to do is learn how to talk about that and bring it forward. We cannot, must not run away from it. And Steve Phillips, that's what Democracy in Color is all about. It's about bringing it forth and understanding how we need to build a coalition together. And he does not run away from race. He runs straight into it to tell us how we need to build the coalitions that win elections. So
He
that's why I'm so
uses this
excited.
word multiracial.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why it's so important because, we had this big conversation before about, white women voters and what Steve Phillips tells us is, I mean, there has been no time that he can remember where we got 50% of the vote that wasn't that white people voted for Democrats. And so if you're going to build a coalition that wins, then you have to understand who those voters are. And all of us build a coalition with all of the folks around us. And Steve Phillips really goes into how you do that and why we will not win long-term races unless we figure out how to address race.
And I think he really, like you said, Miss Margaret Morrison, that talked about like all this polling, that it was the eggs, it was, the weather that day, why people voted. And she's like, come on, what I haven't heard, it's about race. And we also know that's layered in there with misogyny, right? But what I love about Steve Phillips and also Kirsten Miller really calls out the monster, which is the white supremacy and the Christofascism. And these things are real and they exist. Like, I always say it's the patriarchy, it holds up the table, all these, really bad, evil concepts that people are coming forward now in the government, and they're all loyalists, and it's very much not normal. There's nothing normal, and our politics cannot meet the moment in that normal, with that normalcy at all, or else we will not survive this, as we say. So I'm excited too. I saw Kirsten, she had a book club the other day. People love her. They love her books. She's humorous. I love dark humor. And I love people that like to laugh. And I want to laugh. It's the only way to survive this too, is to have humor and also, get that, take the gloves off and really fight back, because nothing will make me happier, right? So I'm glad we're talking about this tomorrow. It's so timely.
I'm glad we're talking about it too. And I know as we move on through our programs, as we move through February, March, we'll also be talking about the lanes that we occupy. And I think it's really important based on Kristen's book, based on what Steve is trying to tell us. What I'm also saying is that, we have worked so hard to demonstrate empathy and care, and they have mistaken that for weakness. And so
Yeah.
what we have to do is demonstrate that you can have empathy and you can have care and you can punch the hell out of people when you need to. And that's where
Yeah,
we have to go.
that's where we have to go, and I'm ready to go. And so I'm glad we'll be doing that tomorrow. And this is going to be the politics of race and fiction and how we fight back. So we hope that you'll join us tomorrow, because we're ready. We're always ready. We're the brawlers. Bras on, fists up. We're going to go. All right. We hope everybody sees us in the room tomorrow. Remember to register and to follow us and just like us. We're just happy that you're here. Great.